experience a kingdom lifestyle that is both focused and balanced. Welcome to Live Exceptionally. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with demands on our time and attention, it can be difficult to find the space to truly live our best lives. But what if we could find a way to live exceptionally with a sense of purpose, freedom, and rest? Whether you're a busy professional, a stay-at-home parent, or anyone who wants to live a more focused and balanced life, this show is for you. Join us as we discover how to live exceptionally, finding freedom and rest along the way. Now, let's get into this week's episode of Live Exceptionally with Dr. Evonne Thompson.
Welcome back to Live Exceptionally. I'm your host, Dr. Evonne, founder of Elise and author of Can You Sleep Like This in the Rest of God and Reflections on Rest. Did you know that what you eat impacts how you feel? Neither did I until I spoke with Elaine Benz, our guest for this episode. She is a nutritionist, a wellness coach, a personal trainer, and also massage therapist. She pretty much has the alphabet behind her name. I'm excited for our discussion that continues our series on stewardship of our body. Let's tune in. Elaine, for being with us today. Before we get started, can you just go ahead and give a bit of a background regarding your being a nutritionist and a wellness coach? Because that's not a well-heard term, or not, at least to me, wellness coach.
Okay. So my background is I did go to college and I have a degree in dietetics. I also have a second degree in exercise science. So as you can see behind me, I do a lot of physical activity. But the reason I call myself a wellness coach is because I'm very interested in the whole picture. So I call myself a holistic practitioner. So say, for example, someone is coming to me and they just want to go on a crash diet, but they don't want to exercise. I'm going to talk to them about the balance approach of doing physical activity and working on a healthy diet, not a crash diet. But my background is more in looking at the big picture between diet, exercise, and some mental, emotional health.
Right. And with my core theme being around rest, I look at whole wellness. A lot of times when you look at, rest, people struggle with like a lack of work-life balance, a lack of balance as it relates to always feeling tired, always feeling worn out. And with the theme of rest, I feel that there is a holistic approach to wellness. So when people talk about having mental or emotional type of battles, I feel that these things affect our body. They affect what we take into our system. And so the whole concept around whole wellness ties into a broader picture. And this month, I'm focusing on stewardship of the body. So I've talked to a few people around fitness, around hiking, getting the body moving. And I thought it would be great for you to talk about nutrition to support that whole message around how we steward our body. So as a wellness coach, what do you think the key myths are related to nutrition and what we...
There are a lot. Marketers' whole job is to make money. Okay. So I'm just going to go over a couple of them. So these fad diets. Okay. So they're inevitably your friends, your girlfriend, someone's going to do a fad diet. One of the ones I really don't like are the low carb diets, because as a person who takes care of their body, you nourish your body. Maybe you're a mom, you're a wife, you're a friend, you work, you have so much going on. You have to fuel your body with good carbohydrates. So good carbohydrates are like fruits, vegetables, whole grains. So I know in my social circle, when my girlfriend, somebody goes on a low carb diet, inevitably it's not even going to be more than 2 or 3 days. She is going to crash. She's going to be moody. She's not going to be a happy camper. I know when my son, we have a 6-year-old, when his friends' moms go on diets, they know right away. So one of the big ones, a myth, is that a low carb diet is a good long-term plan. It is not. Let me debunk that myth right now. So eat healthy carbs. You still want to eat 3 or 4 servings of fruits and vegetable a day. So if you have a banana, say you're running out the door, going to work or dropping your kids off, whatever you're doing, eat the banana. Don't fear the carbohydrates. So the fad diets they're not effective for long term. And also carbohydrates carry water. So as soon as you have, so say for example, like I have about half a cup of water left here. So you are going to have, every carbohydrate carries a certain amount of water. And as soon as you take carbs out of your diet, you're going to see weight. That's not real weight loss. That's water loss.
Yeah.
It's like it's a temporary weight loss.
And I think sometimes when we're looking to say, we want to live healthy, a lot of times it's tied to, I just want to lose weight. And for me,
Right.
like I'm on this journey, I want to have a healthy lifestyle, but I also
Yes.
want to lose weight.
Right.
But sometimes the immediate loss of weight is like satisfactory. So you get excited because I
Right.
didn't eat carbs, I didn't eat any sugar,
Yes.
but then it's
Yes.
not sustainable because over time,
Right.
the inkling or the desire to eat something with carbs or sugar is always there. So in terms of adjusting one's thinking of how we look at
Yes.
food or how we look at exercise, talk a little bit about that because that's debunking the myth.
Yeah, so there is no bad food. There are no foods that are off limits. So if you're at a birthday party and you want to have a piece of cake, have a piece of cake. Don't have 3 pieces of cake. Live in moderation, So I mean, you're going to be Super Bowl. You have all these things happening. Valentine's Day, this time of year. Have a little bit. Have a few pieces of chocolate. If you like those Hershey Kisses, have a handful. Have 5 or 6 and satisfy the craving. But then if you're still hungry, that's what I always tell our son is, if you're still hungry after you have a little bit of something that you crave, you still want to eat more, go eat half a sandwich. Go have a banana, go have a slice of cheese, go have something that actually is going to fill your appetite. Because chances are, if you started eating like a bag of chips and then halfway through the bag of chips, you're still hungry, that's not really satisfying your appetite. But also make room for treats. So usually what is a recipe for disaster is someone who says, I'm never going to eat any sugar. They went from having 3 cups of coffee a day, having, 1 or 2 spoonfuls of sugar, like say they're having 6 spoonfuls of sugar, they're going to have nothing. Well, that's not really realistic.
Right.
Go maybe 3 cups of coffee with 2 creamers to 2 cups of coffee, and then do that for a couple of weeks, maybe 7 to 10 days, a week and a half, and slowly wean your body off of a lot of processed foods, but still make room for it. If your favorite food are nacho Doritos and you're having those 3 times a week with lunch, the next week make a goal to have them 2 times a week with lunch rather than 0.
Right. Yeah. What are some things that you can talk about, easy ways that people can start making adjustments? Like you were talking about weaning ourselves off of those things that we maybe overindulge in.
Yeah.
But what about the actual habits or choices that we should be making on a daily basis related to what we eat in our nutrition?
Okay, so starting a new habit. So can I coach you for a couple of minutes? Can we use you
Sure,
as
I'll
an
accept some free
Okay,
coaching.
okay, all right, all right. So because this is what I do as a wellness coach, the whole purpose is to see the person in front of me, ask them questions, and find what would be the first step for you to take. So let's use you for an example, Evonne. So you said that this year you're making better decisions, you're interested in being a good steward of your body.
Right.
So what does that mean to you?
What does that mean to me? It means one, I need to exercise. I think that's my biggest hang up is I'll start and then I stop. So exercising consistently and finding things that I actually like doing versus the mental block of, oh my God, I got to go exercise for 30 minutes, right? That's
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And then, but then also fitting that within my schedule. And
Great.
then from a nutrition standpoint, like I already don't eat processed foods. I
Oh,
don't eat processed foods. I don't like buy a lot of chips and all those
okay.
things. Like if I go on a trip, I might buy snacks like that. But generally when I go grocery shopping, I don't buy processed foods or like junk food. But I do like sweets. So that
Okay.
is
Okay.
probably my challenge is eating sweets and then also eating too late remotely or working at a desk all day and I haven't moved.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like your body is craving something that feels good. And that's where the sugar comes in.
Probably, yeah.
It's in, and is the sugar a reward for hard work?
Yeah, I try to when I do eat my sweets, generally I try to wait till the weekend, but then I
Oh,
overindulge.
okay.
Yeah. Like I
Yvonne,
don't
you,
go through the week eating cookies and cakes and I
I
don't
know.
do that. But if the week when the weekend comes, then
Right.
I'll have some sweets.
Okay, it sounds like you are definitely on a health journey because
Yeah,
you already have created some of these guardrails
right.
of decisions and when you're going to include these foods. So I would say, for example, let's say Evonne was my client. So I'm coaching Evonne and we're talking about what she's doing and what is the barrier and what is not working. So first step. So and as a coach, our job really is not to give you all the answers. It's to help you find what your answers are. So I use a technique called motivational interviewing. So
Hmm.
what I heard from you was 30 minutes. So can I address the exercise component
Sure.
for 1 minute?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said 30 minutes. So says who? Who created this time amount, this duration, 30 minutes?
Well, that's based on where people say you have to do 150 minutes per week. And
Okay.
so, yeah, that's where I get it from. So that equates to, they say, try to get 5 days of 30 minutes
Okay.
each
Okay.
7-day cycle.
Okay. So, and I would say as a wellness coach, it would be far better for you to do 10 minutes or 15 minutes versus 0 if 30 minutes is not going to happen in your calendar, looking at your everyday life. And then depending on your resources, like a lot of people will have like a bike or a treadmill or some piece of cardio equipment at home. Even if you got up 10 minutes earlier and did 10 minutes versus 30 minutes, that would be a better solution than trying to go for the full 30 because there's a huge psychological component to exercise, and it's not just you. Know that and I agree with the 30 minutes, but because I take a progressive approach with clients, if I have someone in front of me and I say, hey, when's the last time you did 30 minutes of anything? Swimming, biking, walking, anything. And they say, oh, it's been a few months. Well, maybe 30 minutes is too much to start with. Maybe we
Right.
start with 20 minutes or 10 minutes. And get real about that. Like, okay, well, what's realistic for you? 15 minutes? Let's do that 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Does that work for you? Okay.
Right.
And let's be held accountable. Let's text or email, whatever method works. And let's do that. And the nutrition part, it is undeniable. This is what I love about nutrition is, especially if you have kids, you can see right away after school snack. If my son eats an apple, he's bouncing off the walls, energy, he feels good, he's happy. Instead of the apple, if you give him an after school snack of like 3 or 4 cookies, he's sluggish. He wants to play on his tablet. He doesn't want to move around. He might not want to do his homework. So, with kids, you can see like an immediate transformation. And with adults, we're the same way. But the
Right.
key in my coaching practice is helping clients to identify how you feel. So it sounds like you have a psychological tie, and I don't know if it's guilt or whatever is the association sometimes with sugars. Some women tell me that is they feel guilty. Like, well, I had 2 cookies. 2 cookies is a serving. That's nothing. That's great. Like, congratulations, you didn't eat 7. Like, that's what I'm hearing. But is connecting how you feel emotionally, psychologically, and then whatever is the choice that you made. And if you're not happy with that, is just you did the choice. Okay, say you go to a Super Bowl party and you had 8 cookies. I don't know. You figured it out later. Well, maybe tomorrow you don't have 8 cookies. Maybe you have 4. And then that's how you come to grips with your decision and make your changes moving forward. Because your body is your temple. You're gonna feel it. If you can couple immediately how you feel with what you put in, even if it's in the same day, later on that day, like, wow, I had no energy. I was supposed to go shovel snow or grocery shop, or and I had this cinnamon roll for breakfast, and man, I didn't feel like doing anything the rest of the day. There is a physical tie to what you put in to what you get out of your body.
That is such a good tidbit of information because I don't think we actually associate how we feel with what we eat. I think
Right.
it's more how we want to feel when we
Right.
eat.
Right.
When if I've worked hard all week and I
Right.
have this, 'cause like even if I bake a cake, let's say for a get together or a holiday or something like that,
Yeah.
I never keep the cake on hand, like whatever's left. I actually cut it up in multiple servings and I freeze it. If people don't want to take it home because I don't want it in my house, I will
Right.
then cut it up and I'll put it in the freezer. So the weekend comes and I say,
Yeah.
oh, I want something sweet, I can take off serving and
Yes.
eat it. Now, if I'm doing good, I'll only take out that one serving as opposed to multiple
Right.
servings and eat. But that's one way that I help myself with that. But it's like a treat that, oh, I want something sweet, I'm going to have that. But
Yeah.
I talk a bit more about the whole what we put in impacts how we feel, because I don't think many people know that connection.
Right. Right. So I would say the first step, anyone first, I do a free consultation with people all the time, phone call, usually it's a phone call just to see where their mind is, because a lot of people, they really are not ready for change. There's this model, it's a behavior change model. In our diet and exercise world, it works in any realm, spiritual, emotional, any realm. Is
Right.
if you're going to hire a professional, the best investment is to be in a place where you're ready to change. So first, the question is, where's a great place to start if you want to make a change in your life, is observing your own behavior. So if you're looking at your dinner plate, say you made dinner or lunch, or you go out to eat, and just pause and observe, what did I order? What sandwich did I get for lunch? And take a minute. Literally, don't be on your phone and don't be watching TV, but just observe what you're currently doing. That gives you so much information.
Hmm.
But it requires people to slow down
Right.
a little bit.
Yeah. So what are some tips that you can talk about regarding diet and nutrition?
Okay.
Where do we start? And when we start, how do we keep moving forward and not fall back?
Okay. Okay, so the progressive approach. So I'm going to use my concrete culver as example. So I had a client, this is many, many years ago, okay? And as a reward for going to work, on her way home, she would get a concrete shake. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't eat
At
drink
Culver's,
shakes.
it's
Oh,
it's
Culver's. Oh, okay, yeah.
Culver's. They have this very high calories. Okay, so this is a good example of taking away a habit, but then replacing it with something healthy. So these shakes, I'm telling you, there's like 1,000 calories per
She
serving
would have this every day?
every day, 5 days a week.
Wow.
Every day
Now
she
I
would
get a
drink
shake every year on my birthday.
it.
Every day. Wow.
I mean, but you know what? There is, so the body tells what happened. The body tells the story, right? So if you're trying to add in new habits and eliminate an old habit, usually there's this method we call substitution. So if you're every day going to get 1,000 calorie shake,
Wow.
maybe on the days, maybe take one day a week where you don't get that. Say you do it 4 days a week, and then on Friday, instead, you drive through a smoothie place and you get, instead of 1,000 calorie shake, you get a 300 calorie fruit smoothie with some protein, which is different. I know it's not going to be as sweet and scrumptious, but slowly making changes. And rather than, again, the all or nothing approach usually doesn't work. So a good one I tell a lot of people, especially with working remotely, a lot of people are doing online stuff now, is, are they drinking any water?
Mm-hmm.
So even in a day's time, if you have a cup that you like, even a mug, because a lot of people will strictly drink coffee all day and they never drink any water, is swapping out their cup. So taking a different cup, and like this, I like, you could put ice in it. It's something that can fit in my fridge. It's small enough for my hand and all that. But starting with, are you drinking any water? Are you drinking 1 cup a day? How much are you drinking? And then swapping out. So the water thing helps with energy. People will say all the time, okay, why are you hiring a wellness person? Or what can a wellness coach or a personal trainer do for you, or a nutritionist? And a lot of times they say, I want more energy. Okay. So, and I'm very direct, just like this with my clients, is what's taking away your energy?
Right.
Well, I don't know. Well, what are you putting in your body? So like one of the things is with water is something that's necessary for every function in our body, clear skin, going to the bathroom, having good digestion. That's an easy place to start, that a lot of times people will say, I didn't even realize I was having headaches every day. And then all of a sudden I started drinking 1 or 2 glasses of water at work. And you know what? I didn't get that afternoon headache anymore, because they were probably dehydrated by the time they hit 2 or 3 p.m.
Interesting. So how much water should we be drinking every day?
Ideally, your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you want to drink 100 ounces of water a day. So whatever your body weight is in half is the ounces.
And with that ounces, are you able to is it any liquid or is it just water? Because I've heard some dietitians say, well, if you drink half your body weight, that half of that body weight could include like tea without sugar or juices.
Initially, yes. Anything that's going to get liquids in. Anything that's initially, but then we wean you off of that, because ideally it is water. Nothing substitutes water like water.
Okay.
Tea and coffee do dehydrate you. That is true.
Okay.
But if somebody literally doesn't drink anything all day, like they will work a 10-hour shift and they don't drink anything, it would be better for them to drink tea than nothing.
Right. Okay.
So
and that's herbal tea too?
Yeah, any tea. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. What would you like to share about your business and your services and what you do?
Okay, so my big thing. So I love this. I love that we're doing this interview. Thank you so much for your time, your audience. If you get nothing else from me, you have to be your own best friend. Okay. So we're all part of a community, whether it's a church, a work, a family, where you literally live, any part of the world, is nobody knows you like you.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter what other people think about how you look or your energy or what you're doing. What matters, men, women, children, everybody, is how you feel. So if you can get this connection to my thoughts, my feeling, my behavior, my body, this is my life, and value the temple that you were born with, I genuinely feel like you will treat your body with more respect. Because no one else lives in your skin. They don't know how, one person can go drink coffee at 7:00 at night and they're fine. They get a great night's sleep. And the next person, like, I can't have coffee after about 1:00.
Yeah,
1
me
p.m. in
too.
the afternoon. I would be up half the night, but the truth is you have to have faith in yourself that you can take ownership for your decisions and your health in your life, because you live in your skin. It's your body.
Yeah. So go ahead and talk about your services and what you provide.
So I do both online and in person. So I'm in Northwest Indiana, but I do travel. I do travel more locally, like Dyer, Schererville, Munster, Highland. But online, COVID. So I've been doing this over 20 years, and I was in a commercial space in Illinois when COVID happened. So March of 2020. The gym closed. It changed a lot of how I do business. But this opportunity online and telehealth, doing a lot more nutrition services over the phone or via video chat, has allowed a lot of my former clients to return to me. And it's opened the doors for me to work with people. So where I practice in Indiana, this part of Indiana is central. My calendar is in central. The majority of Indiana is Eastern time zone. But because of the way the clock works, I have a lot of clients who live in Eastern time, and we can still work together. We just have to be careful when the clocks change.
Yeah.
To see if they change their clocks like we do. But all my services, fitness, we could do workouts in person. A lot of my clients hire me just for coaching, where they say, hey, I just want you to write me a program, and I will go and I will do it on my own. So most clients have a gym membership or they have some equipment at home. And then in the nutrition world, nutrition services, I get referrals from doctors, because I have clients who have, hormonal issues, or they've had pregnancies, or, weight gain, or they've been diagnosed with diabetes. So I do what would be a therapeutic or a clinical meal plan with them, to help them with reducing hypertension, cholesterol, any of your diagnoses that you get from the doctor. But the average everyday person, what I would consider, someone who needs help just in general, is you're following the basic food, the food guidelines, which just try to eat more healthy food. And then eventually, as time goes on, when you see some success, usually your body will start to crave healthier foods.
Yeah, I noticed I've been trying to listening to all this insight and instruction the past month on stewardship of the body. It's been convicting me to do better. And
Yeah.
I noticed this past week, I was craving something sweet.
Okay.
And I had intentionally, bought more fruit. And so I
Good.
purposely, I got an orange, instead of
Okay.
getting dessert, I
Okay.
peeled an orange, instead of cutting it up, I peeled it and broke it apart and I ate my orange, and it satisfied that sweet
Yeah.
craving.
Yes.
And it was more get another snack before I went to bed.
Okay.
So it is very true. The only downfall I feel, in eating healthy is sometimes it's more expensive.
Yes, that is true. That is true. The economic disparity is undeniable. Yep, I'm a former school teacher, and I taught in on the west side of Chicago and Cal City in Illinois. And it is undeniable that yes, that is a truth. Especially if you're going to choose organic foods, it is going to be more expensive.
Right, or non-GMO as well.
Right. All those things that is true. So in the grand scheme of things, is what you just said is an excellent example to what we use in the nutritional world about the psychological connection between why you made that decision. So oftentimes, I know this is a little out of the health and wellness, more in the mental, emotional, and I refer out when somebody needs a mental health professional. I have a network of people I refer out, but I always ask, when it comes to craving, use that word craving. So if at all possible, so I do a lot with clients on journaling to put their own thoughts down on paper, is if you can pause, don't go grab the Oreos, but if you can pause for a minute and write down why are you craving the cake or the donut, or, what is it, a feeling that needs to be addressed? Is it a tough emotional conversation? Is it an argument with a partner? Where's that thought coming from?
That I didn't want to eat my lentil soup that I made.
It didn't seem appetizing at the time.
Right.
I mean,
after 3 days of lentil soup, I had enough.
Maybe in that instance, you needed variety.
Right. Yeah. No, but I agree about that, because with some of the things that I've learned, even through my insurance company for my job, taking health classes, they talk about that, the cravings, and are there other issues at play that you might need to explore, why we could have cravings that tie more to emotional need versus being hungry in actual fact. Yeah. So I understand where you're coming from with that. What would you like to share as your closing thought?
Be your own best friend. I mean, if there's nothing else I could share as far as health and wellness goes. A lot of people will say, Elaine, that's easy for you to say. You're already in shape. You're already living this lifestyle. But the truth is it doesn't matter how much you weigh. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter who you are, what culture or religion you follow. If you treat your body with respect, you're going to feel better.
That's all the time that we have for this week's episode. Tune in next week for another episode of Live Exceptionally. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with others on YouTube or your preferred podcast platform. And stay connected with us at elisi.org. Have an exceptional week.
Thanks for joining us for Live Exceptionally with Dr. Evonne Thompson. Each week, we'll explore the secrets to living a life that is both intentional and fulfilling. We'll talk to folks that will share about productivity, mindfulness, and self-care to learn practical tips and strategies for staying focused, managing our time, and finding balance within a kingdom mindset. We'll also hear from people who have made the choice to live exceptionally and learn from their experiences and insights. Connect with Dr. Evonne by signing up at elici.org. That's ELICI.org. Until next time, we're praying that you find balance and rest so you can live exceptionally.